Hello, hello, hello. We are live and my TV just turned on. Turn that off again. Thank you. um, so we're going to talk anxiety tonight. Um, this is something that I have had from time to time. I have my own little ways of dealing with it, and my idea is to create a video with the help of a few people to hopefully make some people feel a bit better and learn how to cope with it a little bit more. But I need some feedback, so that's what tonight is all about because I'm riding solo. Rab has abandoned me, although he's not, he's actually just preoccupied with a little person, a tiny, tiny little person. Who's on tonight? In fact, let's just see if I can get you up on my iPad. Let's have a look. Hey, hey. Make sure this volume is down. All the usual crew are on. That's awesome. Cool. Right, let's have a look. See if I've got. Can I get you up in this? That'd be much easier. Yes, I can. Oh, Christ. Sorry, we're just dealing with some people here. That's cool. Right, who have we got on? General. What's GE? What's GE, Stephen? I don't understand that. Where's your sidekick? Rab is preoccupied with a small person tonight. He's a little bit tired and he has some duties to do tonight. So I'm riding solo, and that's why we're going to do this a little bit different format tonight. I don't even have my kilt on. I've got my tartan pajamas on. Look, it is 10 p.m. here. I'm at home and I'm just chilling out. I've got a little whiskey, so hopefully we can all just chill out and have a nice conversation tonight. People from Quebec. What happened? Groovy pajamas though. Thanks, Gina. They're very comfy as well. They're very thick for the Scottish winter. Keeps me cosy. Chilling in the bathtub. Caroline, are you in the bath? Are you typing that naked? So I'm going to say this a few times. I know people are kind of just joining in the conversation. So I'm going to keep repeating myself. For the people who have already heard this, Rab is preoccupied with a very small person at the moment. And actually, for those who are interested, what I'm going to do tonight, you know that we've been giving away our hats. Okay, so we've got a bunch of hats made up ages ago for our boot camp. And if somebody joined our boot camp, we give them a hat. And we've got like a bunch left over now. There's a few going out to places all over the world. I know Gina's got one, I think Neil's got one, Steve's got one, Anne's got one. But anyway, I'm going to give another one away tonight. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this at the end of the anxiety talk. The way I'm going to do it is we're going to have a little fun game with Rab's small person. Okay, so if in case you didn't know, Rab and his wife had a new addition to the family, and I'm going to get you all, not at the moment, not at the moment, but I'm going to get you all to guess the sex and the weight. What else? That's it, right? Yeah, the sex and the weight. The sex and the weight. If you, whoever gets the closest will, do you know the length? um, that's unfair. That's such a small person. Some men are longer than others. Whoever gets the closest will win the hat. But don't guess now. I'm not going to read anything. And if anybody's watching this right now, I know there'll be a few people who are watching this who might know the sex and might know the weight. Do not say anything. It's not fair. I want to give away a hat, and if you give it away, then I can't give away a hat. Okay, but don't say anything yet. No, no, no. People are writing already. Don't say anything yet because I'm not doing it just now. I'm not going to look at any of the messages. We're going to do it at the end. Okay, so just hold that thought. Hold that thought. Um, we're going to talk about anxiety first. Okay, so in case you don't know, right, and I'm okay talking about this. I suffer from anxiety from time to time. Okay, it's not drastic. Okay, I'm not going to say that I can't say that I suffer from anxiety. I experience anxiety. Um, and I have my own ways of dealing with it. And I want to make a video to help as many people as possible. So what I'm asking for tonight is a little bit of feedback if you are willing to talk about it. Okay, some people will be and some people won't be, and that's totally cool. What I am not going to stand for, so I put a post on Twitter today and on Facebook, and on Facebook went absolutely nuts. Some people were being just a bit dickish, and everyone has their own opinions about anxiety, and often that comes from your own experience. Now, I've got my own experience with anxiety, as will you. So, what we're looking for is an open conversation and understanding that everyone has their own experience with this, and there's no right or wrong answer to it. Okay, what I'm looking for is your feedback. Tell me your experience, okay? And I don't, if anybody gets into an argument, then I'm just going to delete you and block you. And if there's too many arguments, then I'll just bugger off, and there'll be no show at all. Oh, we've had a donation from Ace Rob. Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that. In fact, maybe we should just put that straight to Rab and his wife and the small person. And we'll give that to them. In the prairies. I was in Canada a few years ago. I say a few years ago, it's probably about 15 years ago. And I love being out in the prairies on exercise, and it was fantastic. Mikey, I'm too anxious. Anxious, waiting for what? Um, I think a lot of people suffer from anxiety now and again. So, in fact, before we go any further, so I've scribbled some notes before we even start, just so there's some sort of structure behind this. Um, and like I said, this is for much my benefit as it is for yours. Okay, so I'm hoping to get in a bit of a conversation. If you can keep up to date with the comments. Now, if I miss your comment, don't get upset, and I'll try to read out what I'm writing down. So what I'm looking for, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and if you're willing to be open with this, then I would love to get your feedback. Um, First of all, I'm going to cover the fundamentals of what the book says, okay, or what the books say, that the reasons for suffering from anxiety. Um, Hopefully yours will fit into one of those, and if it doesn't fit into one of these reasons, then please tell me what your reasons are. But anyway, reason for anxiety is first of all, not getting what you want. Okay, so if you're wanting something, you literally cannot get it. Some people get really sort of anxious about that. Number two is losing something that you had. Now, when I read that one, I thought, well, losing something that you had is in the past, and there's a bunch of other books that say depression is being stuck in the past, and anxiety is being stuck in the future. Now, I really resonate with that because I don't really suffer from depression. I suffer from anxiety. I'm always looking in the future, and I'm always worried about kind of what's going to happen. So I'm not too sure about that one. But anyway, it's in the books, so I'm going to read it out. And the last one was the thought of something bad happening in the future. And I 100% agree with that one. Okay, that's where a lot of anxiety comes from. Um, the fourth one to that is then social anxiety. So I am not going to cover that one because I don't know that much about it, and I don't want to get it wrong. So I'm going to leave that one, and we're just going to talk about general anxiety. So first of all, I'm going to start reading comments now, and then I'd really like you to tell me the reasons. If anybody does here suffer from anxiety, hopefully a bunch of you do, and that's why you're tuning into this one. If you do suffer from anxiety, tell me why. Okay, so I can scribble a few notes, and I can make a better video for this whole thing. Take that thing off my iPad. Worried about the career situation. Okay. I'm going to put that one down. That's a pretty biggie to start with. Um, Holly's just saying anxious. Gina's saying you could give me some info on social anxiety. I have a bit of that. Also, general anxiety, anxious about the future and always thinking ahead. Yeah, Gina, the social anxiety, I totally understand that a bunch of people do suffer from that. Um, I'm not too clued up on it, so let's leave that one for now. But we might tackle that in the future because I've actually got somebody who is a doctor in psychology, and she's really keen to help out. You guys are funny. Uh, Glenn is worried about the ball guy not being in any more videos. I'm sure Mark will be watching this right now and he'll be flattered. And you don't have to be anxious because I think anxiety comes from thinking about that something bad's going to happen. So you're thinking the bald guy's not going to be in any more videos, but I can reassure you that 100% he is going to be back in our videos. So you don't have to be anxious about that at all. Right, I'm going to miss a bunch of your comments because you're just flying up too fast. So I apologise about that, but it's little old me tonight. Rab is not here to back me up. Um, oh, hey, Joey Gallon's on, and he applauds me for strength and honesty in this topic. Um, do you know it's really easy to do as soon as you hold your hands up and say I'm not perfect. And I think that's I used to be that person. I used to pretend that I had no flaws. I was awesome. I'm the man, and everyone should bow down to me. But that's really not the case. As soon as you admit you've got flaws, it's really easy to talk about anything because um, even anxiety, like I know a couple of things, but I'm on this call actually to get some education from you guys. Okay, I'm looking for your own experience, so yeah, it's pretty easy. Um, Worried about gaining weight. So you feel anxious about that? Anxious about gaining weight. Put that one down. Um, okay, Anne. Anne, hi Anne. It's nice to see you on here, and thanks for sharing. Actually, thank you very much. So Anne is worried about the future. It's a big worry, especially money and paying rent, etc. Okay, money, rent, etc. Cool. Right, I'm going to try look for three more of these. So Gina, you're opening up a whole kettle of fish with me. I'm gonna have a drink of whiskey before I read this one out. One of the ways I try to lessen my anxiety about unknown situations is to plan for any eventuality. Christ, I've got a bit of a perfectionist nature, and if I try and do that, I just wouldn't leave the bedroom. I would just sit and I would write down absolutely everything. I think it's impossible to plan for every eventuality, but you can try. I think it's maybe any likely eventuality within reason. Um, ba, 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 ba. So Angela, natural planner, so tends to be more anxious about the future, things I can't control. Yeah, or things you don't think you can control. So just general things you can't control. I'm going to write that one down because that's quite generalised, but I think it applies to most people. Things I can't control. Anyone who's contributing right now, you are helping me plan. Hopefully, it's going to be a pretty cool video. So We'll see how that turns out, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for contributing. Not being in control, Holly. You're never in control. Control of what? Not being in control. So you're saying ditto to Anne, but I don't know what Anne said, and I'm not going to try and find it. So if it was really good, then please type it again. Um, Now, Teresa Mink, stop smoking, so scared to try. Can you elaborate on that one slightly? Because that sounds quite interesting. Right, I'm losing a bunch of comments. Hang on. Right, Jared Bossy. For me, it's whenever I have an exam of some sort. Presentations are fine. Turning in massive assignments are fine. But lay a test in front of me and I shut down. I fail classes because of that. Okay, so it's a bit of kind of instant stress, almost like being put on the spot. Um, that's very acute anxiety, isn't it? Because you'd think that. I think for and again, this is from my experience, but often when you feel like you've got like a million and one tasks to do, you've got like so much going on in your head that you're just like and you do nothing at all. Sounds to me like you've got that under control. You can multitask. You can take care of what you're doing. But it's when you're put on the spot there and then that you suffer. Okay, so I'm going to put acute anxiety. I need to look into these ones actually. Do a bit more research. Elaine's a new member for us. Hi, Elaine. Being around toxic people is a serious trigger for me. To be honest, Elaine, I think should be a trigger for most people. I think some people deal with it better than others, and actually acknowledging that people are toxic is a skill. Some people are completely oblivious to toxic people. Um, Unaware that they are sucking the energy out of you. As soon as you come across one of these people, the best thing you can do is get out of there, shut down anything, any energy or emotion that you're giving that person, and just go. Do not give them a second thought. Glenn gets anxious about confrontation. As do a lot of people. That's good. So Steve MacArthur is saying weather is another anxiety, especially in winter. Lack of daylight. Okay, so lack of daylight, should I say? When I was doing a bit of research on this, what they were saying is, and it's something I've never really experienced, but when people go like sort of mountaineering and whatnot at altitude, you with the lack of oxygen, you can suffer anxiety from lack of oxygen. Now this played a part. Now let me know if this makes sense. If being at altitude can bring on anxiety in a very healthy individual who doesn't suffer from anxiety normally, just from lack of oxygen, then you've got to think, okay, well, in stressful situations, or if you start thinking about the future or whatever else, you naturally kind of you don't breathe as much. Okay, you're not going to take big deep breaths, and so that is it lack of oxygen? Is it the same thing? And also, everyone knows that exercise can help depression, it can help anxiety. And when you're exercising, you're taking a lot more air and so you're taking a lot more oxygen. So I think there's a kind of big link with that. And actually, that's one of the points I'll come to in a minute about some treatments or some actions that you can take to alleviate anxiety. Okay, there's a bunch. Elaine saying that your family sucked the energy out of you. I had to cut ties over the holidays. I was laid off a year ago. I thought things would get better for me once I didn't have to deal with my job. Nope. Oh, Elaine, I'm sorry to hear that, but good for you for cutting the ties. If they really are sucking the energy out of you, then it's best to focus on what makes you happy rather than what makes you sad and anxious. Put space. Okay, so right, we're going to leave that one there. Okay, so your reasons. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, I appreciate everyone sharing because it's not always easy. Obviously, I'm sharing to 103 people right now, um, and it's nice to see actually because I put the post on Facebook. I thought that there would be a little bit more animosity because there was a little bit on Facebook, and I had to delete a few comments. So it's nice to see everyone's being nice, and and more than open to share these things. So what I like to do now I've got my go-to reactions or my go-to treatments that I give myself if I ever suffer from anxiety. Okay, so um, and I've got a bit of a philosophy about it as well. So I'm going to share that in a minute. But until then, in fact, you know what? I'm going to share mine first, and then I want you guys to tell me yours. Okay, so don't write anything that I need to see because I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to look at comments for the next little bit. Um, to say that I suffer from anxiety is probably not accurate. I would say that I have anxiety, but I don't suffer from it because I have a go-to action. So anxiety to me is like hunger. Okay, so you get hungry when you don't eat. Okay, that hunger tells me that I need to eat. That you need to start looking for food. Now, if you are eating regularly, hunger is just there to tell you you've not eaten for a while, or you haven't had the same calories, or you've done too much exercise, or whatever it might be. Ultimately, it's telling you that you're going to have to eat soon. I see anxiety exactly the same way. So when I get anxious, I think I need something, okay, or I want something. And actually, that's Monday's mindset video, okay. Needs versus wants, but shh, I didn't tell you that. It's a really good mindset to think about. When I get anxious, it's like, okay, I want something. So those reasons that I read out at the start, the main one for me was what is going to happen in the future if I don't get this thing that I want. And it can really, if you're not aware of it, and this again was one of my points, if you're not aware of these things coming up, it can really completely stop you from taking action. So often you'll find yourself with, like, in my head, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I constantly think about all the things I have to do and to the degree that I have to do them in. So what happens is you end up kind of thinking of all these things, and you think, okay, so all of a sudden, rather than seeing something this size, you see something this size because there's so many put together. And as soon as you see something this size, like, I can't do that. I cannot do it. So then when you say I cannot do it, I don't have the ability to do that, therefore I'm not even going to try. And that's when you stick your head in the sand and you do nothing at all. Okay, so that's my instinct, my gut reaction to do. Okay, this is what I need to recognize. So point number one I'm going to make is get into meditation. Okay, so that again, I don't want anyone getting upset about this. This is my go-to reaction for this. Okay, that your form of anxiety might be different, but hopefully this will help. Um, my go-to reaction, first of all, is I need to be aware of when I'm having these feelings. Okay, so if I suddenly I realize, and it's really easy to say, it's not one big thing, it's lots of little things. Okay, that's point number one. But in order to realize that, I have to be mindful. I have to be mindful of my thoughts. Okay, it's almost like a Jedi trick, isn't it? It sounds really Jedi-ish. I need to be mindful of your thoughts, Stephen. Um, so in order to be mindful of your thoughts, you have to meditate. You don't have to meditate, but I find meditation very, very helpful. Now, it doesn't have to be hours on end, sitting with your legs crossed and saying, For me, meditation is spending anywhere between 2 and 20 minutes at my dining room table, with my back straight, my eyes closed, my hands on the table, and I just focus on my breath or a word that I say over and over and over again. Okay, that is my meditation. Sometimes it's 2 minutes, sometimes it's up to 20 minutes. Okay, the point is it doesn't really matter. It allows me to quiet my mind and be mindful. If I do that at the start of the day, I can then be mindful of my thoughts for generally the rest of the day. Sometimes I'll do it in the middle of the day as well, but generally for the rest of the day, I'm mindful of how I'm feeling. So as soon as you see this anxiety coming up, you can recognize it and you can take an action. Okay, so that's point number one. You have to be able to recognize before you can take an action. It's like the whole being an alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic, you have to first admit that you've got a problem before you can take an action. Okay, so it's the same as anxiety. If you are not aware that you're anxious, or maybe you're aware that you're anxious and you've got these kind of feelings but you don't know why. For me, it's usually lots of little tasks bulked together, and I'm just like, it's too big. I'm not doing anything at all. So that's point number one. It's nice to see you guys are still all chatting. Sorry if I'm not. Um, Nadine, I want to reply to this one. Nadine saying, "Isn't it hard to meditate with small kids in the house?" Nadine, I get up at 5 a.m. so the kids are sleeping. It's actually really really easy. So yeah, do that. Anyway, I'm going to stop reading comments again. So if you need to tell me something, leave it till I've finished. Okay, so first of all, meditate so that you're more mindful. Once you're mindful, I then have go-to reactions. So point number one is breathe. Very, very simply, I just breathe. Now, I'm not talking like you've been breathing since the moment you've born, you're breathing. But when was the last time that you really focused on your breath? Focused on taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Okay, maybe if you're into regular exercise, you do that if you're going for a run or whatever else. But if you're just sitting on a sofa or a chair or driving your car, when was the last time you just focused on your breath? Okay, and by doing that, you're actually taking more oxygen in. And this all helps the anxiety and it helps your mindset. Okay, so, and it also comes back to when we get anxious, it's because we want something that we don't have. Generally speaking, okay, there might be a few other things, but generally it's because we want something that we don't have. The fundamentals of what the human being needs: oxygen, water, food, sleep, shelter. For absolute fundamentals. The first one being breath. If you go without breath for 3 minutes, you're dead. Okay, so as soon as you feel anxious, take a deep breath in. You're fine. You are fine. Once you focus on your breath, then you can take more actions. Okay, focus on your breath. You're breathing. You are breathing. Okay. If you are understanding anxiety is there for a reason. So if you were underwater, okay, so say for instance you were a free diver, you're underwater, or maybe you're on a boat and the boat capsizes, okay, you're underwater, you've got to swim under the water to get back out again. You get anxious for that oxygen. You get anxious to take your breath because if you don't, you're dead. Okay, that's what anxiety is for. That is what anxiety is for. Is to take that breath. Okay, it's to save you from danger. Okay, you get anxious so that you take action. But everyday life, we suffer from anxiety for absolute crazy reasons. This is me included. That these reasons that we suffer from anxiety are nuts, absolutely nuts. But we do. So first of all, take a breath and just say, "I'm fine." Then think about the next thing. Okay, so I mentioned water, food, sleep, shelter. Do you have those things? Okay, now I don't mean do you have a water to hand. I mean, are you hydrated? Because the human body will look for things it doesn't have. It will make you anxious if you do not have certain things. So as soon as I feel anxious, you start thinking, well, am I hydrated? Okay, so take a breath. Okay, I'm fine. I'm breathing. Am I hydrated? Have I been on top of my water today? Because water is so important. If you're not hydrated, then your body might make you anxious because you're like, you need water, mate. You need water. If you don't have water, if you're not hydrated, then you're going to be looking for something. And sometimes people don't recognise it. The amount of people who say to me, I don't really drink water. I'll drink when I'm thirsty. I'll drink when I'm thirsty. What if your body doesn't tell you that you're thirsty? Get on top of your water. Okay? Most people know they should be drinking more water, but again, the same people don't. So start with your water intake. Get hydrated. Are you hydrated? The amount of people say, "Oh, I suffer from anxiety." Okay, well, great. Are you hydrated? Are you eating well? Are you sleeping okay? Go through the fundamental. Anxiety is something that you may or may not have control over, but there's a bunch of other stuff that we do have control over, like breath, like hydration, like eating well. Okay, again, if you're lacking in nutrients, okay, from time to time I'll suffer from a lack of nutrients. Okay, maybe I've been lacking in the vegetable department. Okay, maybe I've not had enough vegetables as I like, because I like a bunch of protein and I like carbohydrates and I like a whiskey now and again. Okay, vegetables are something that I really have to force myself to make sure I'm having them, because it's really healthy, and generally speaking I do. But there's periods when I kind of let that slip. Okay, maybe that's a result of the or causing the anxiety as well. So food. Next one to move on to is sleep. Are you sleeping okay? Again, it is fundamental to your well-being. You have to sleep well. So things like devices now. At the moment, it is 10:30 p.m. I'm normally in bed an hour ago. Okay, so Friday nights for us for the live feeds, um, it's just one day of the week where I stay up later. Sometimes a Saturday night if we've got something on. But generally speaking, I'm in bed for 9:30, okay, because I need my sleep. I'm up at 5, therefore get some sleep. If you don't sleep, your body will make you anxious, okay? You'll start to do these different things, okay? So I'm going to recap before I go on to the last one, and that is, so meditate. Be mindful of your thoughts so that you can take action. Point number one. Point number two is breathe. Just breathe. If you can breathe, you're fine. You're fine. Then we're looking at water, good nutrition, and sleep. Make sure all of those points are in place. If they're in place, then we can start to move on again. Okay, so focus on the things that you do have control over. You have control over all over those. Okay, you have control. So take action and sort them out. If they're not perfect, then make them perfect. The last one that I would mention is love. Okay, now I don't mean receive love, I mean give it. We are connected. Okay, human beings are just connected. We are meant to interact. We're meant to be part of a community. A lot of people will hold back their love from fear of being let down, or fear of that love not being reciprocated. It's not about it being reciprocated, it's about giving it. The more love you give, the better you're going to feel. So think about the people around you. There might be friends, family, colleagues, pets, tilly pups. Over here, I want to show you. She's having a good old sleep. It's tilly pups. Show your love, and I can promise you, you will feel better. You'll feel less anxious, and more often than not, that love will be reciprocated. Okay, in its own little way. Okay, you don't need somebody to say "I love you" to know that you're loved. All you need is a tiniest little action. You need, a little bit of eye contact. Okay, a smile, a cuddle. Spending time together, just being in each other's company sometimes can show those feelings. Okay, wanting to be around people can show those feelings. Okay, so that's the last one I'm going to say. So anyway, I'm going to start reading your comments again. I want you to tell me your go-to reactions. If you feel anxious and if you're aware of it, then what is your go-to reaction, so I can start scribbling some notes again, so I can make this awesome video. So I'm going to start reading your comments. I'm going to be rude and not speak to you very much, but I need you to tell me your comments so that I can write them down. So okay, what do you do when you feel anxious? Right, okay. So Emma, you withdraw from people. Okay, so that is your go-to reaction, but what do you do to make you feel better? Okay, to try to get you out of that anxiety state. yoga. Am I still live? Because my iPad just froze. Yes, it is. Great. Cool, right. William goes for a walk. Cool. That's good. Regular exercise. Yeah, I should have said exercise is really awesome. Everyone needs to move. Again, my iPad's frozen for some reason. Hopefully I'm still live. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Oh man. I need to add rock and roll into my video that I'm going to make. Paint and draw, that's good. Who said that? Christ, I've lost it now. Emma, paints and draws. Excellent, Emma. Paint and draw. Music. Holly cries. Holly, don't cry. Meditation from Joey, that's awesome. My favourite change of mindset, though, is to get still, be still, and start counting and acknowledging my list of gratitude. Gratitude humbles me. So, gratitude is awesome. Um, there's a phrase that I heard the other day, and it was active appreciation. So I think if you ask anybody, most people would appreciate what they've got. Okay, if you say, "Well, do you appreciate that you live in a nice country? Do you appreciate that you have access to internet?" They say, "Yeah, I totally appreciate that." But do you actively appreciate it? So do you actively talk about it? Do you actively think about it on a regular basis? So active appreciation is really good. Gina, so yeah, I also tend to distract myself when I get overwhelmed. Netflix and YouTube are my go-to vices. My therapist says these are valid coping skills if used for a short while. Gina, yeah, 100%. I always like to say it can be an instant distraction from negative thoughts, but try and use them for um, for the right reasons. So if it's just nonsense, if you're, your silly cat videos, and the silly memes that you get, then it's fine for a very very fine moment. But look to take action and look for content that is going to help you, and hopefully the Kilty coaches do that for you. Um, Sorry, I'm missing a bunch of comments. So Elaine saying, gratitude is awesome. I try to make a list every day of things I am most grateful for. It can change your mindset if you make this a habit. Elaine, yes, 100%. You start thinking about things that you do have rather than things that you don't have. Things that make you happy rather than the things that you don't have that make you sad. So yeah, focus on what you do have and the reasons to be happy and positive. Um, Oops. Am I still live? Can you guys still see me and hear me? Give your kitty a cuddle. Uh, Decoric, yes. Thanks, James. Thanks, Jack. Cool, cool, cool. This is my iPad. It keeps freezing then. Cool. A few people mentioning their pets there. This is the real prime moment that Tilly wakes up and comes and gives me a cuddle, but she's not going to do that. Having trouble with the feed, dude. Stephen, you're near Woods, what? Stephen, you live near woods. Look again. I have no idea what you're talking about. Um, I watch your old videos. Ah, oh, Clarissa, you know exactly the right thing to say. Watch Kilted Coach's videos. I want to write that one down. Cool. So, Jeffrey, you say you're suffering from social anxiety disorder. Um, I mentioned earlier in the video, I 100% acknowledge that. However, I don't have that much experience to be able to comment on it. And I've never really spoken to anybody with it. So, as much as I acknowledge it, I can't really offer much insight. Therefore, I chose not to talk about it tonight. Ooh, learning a new language. I like that. Giving you something to focus on. You're making natural progressions. Now, um, does everybody know Tony Robbins? Let me know if you know Tony Robbins. Yes or no? Life coach. Learning new language. Yes. Cool. Right, so there's a few no's. He's a giant. Yeah, he is. He's got like these huge hands. They're like twice the size of mine. So Tony Robbins would say that humans look for progression in everything. Okay, so a lot of our personal training clients are in the sort of business world. Okay, so they've got multiple businesses or sometimes just one main business that they keep progressing. Now, a lot of my clients are multimillionaires, and in the beginning, I was kind of like, it didn't make any sense to me to be at that level where you can afford to buy anything you ever wanted, and for generations of your family they can do what they want, yet you're still busting a gut to make more, and it didn't make any sense. And then when I started listening to Tony Robbins, he said progression is the key to happiness. Okay, if you're progressing. Now this is often also why celebrities, so you see celebrities who then suffer from depression. So, and this is because they get to this certain level. Okay, now they are like, they've got all the money, they've got the popularity, they've got the fame, they've got the girls, the cars, or the guys, whatever they've got. Okay, they've got everything that they want. However, what happens is if they become stagnant, or if they come back, so like maybe they get dropped from a TV show, or they don't get the movie part that they wanted, and all of a sudden they don't see themselves as here anymore, they see themselves as there, and it's not where they are in comparison to everybody else, it's where the comparison where they used to be, so they're no longer making progress. It can then cause anxiety and depression. So looking at something like learning a new language, for instance, that's what kind of triggered that one. Learning a new language, you are progressing. You're progressing your knowledge. You're progressing your skills. You're progressing yourself as a human being. Therefore, it can really help with anxiety and depression. So, maybe that's a point that I never wrote down here, but actually, it's a very valid go-to treatment for anxiety and depression is to look for progression in your life. Look at to see what you can improve on. Even if it's the simple things, it might be your fitness, it might just be going from a 1 mile run to a 1.5 mile run. It might be able to lift the 10 kilogram dumbbells for a bicep curl rather than the 8 kilograms. So there's lots of different progressions that you can see in life. Learning new language is a great example. Always find a reason to feel you're lacking. Yeah, most of the things I worry about never happen. So Peter Kirk, I did a lot of research probably about no, it was more than 6 months ago, it was probably about a year ago, on psychopaths. Okay, now psychopaths, I don't mean serial killers, rapists, etc. Or maybe I mean sociopaths. But the author of these books that I was reading was a professor, and he was interviewing a guy who was in jail, who was a real kind of loopy guy, and one of the things that the psychopath said, he said, and the statistics that we look at is 99% of the things we worry about never happen. Okay, and think about that for a second. 99% of the things that we worry about never happen. So this professor who kind of wrote all these books was interviewing this psychopath in jail, and the psychopath said, "Let me get this right. 99% of the things that you worry about never happen, and you call me the psychopath?" And it really does shed light on our own psyche. And as soon as you do start worrying about something, bear that in mind. In fact, there's a quote, and I can't remember who said it. But it's along the lines of, "We suffer more in imagination than we do in reality." And actually, I said this to Rab the other day, and I think we're going to do a Mindset Monday on that very quote. We suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. And it's so true. And I'm one of those as well. But it's also, you think about the positive aspect of that as well. You know, we often think things are going to be better in our own heads than they actually are. You know, things like eating a donut. Okay, maybe you see a donut and you can see like the icing on the top and the little chocolate flakes, and you break it open and you see a bit of custard inside. Okay, and then you think, wow, looks, this is going to be incredible. This is going to be amazing. And then the minute you start eating it, or the minute you finish it, you're like, that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Okay, it happens all the time. So your imagination will make things better and worse depending on the situation. Okay, so the last thing that I want you guys to tell me about is, how would your life be different if you did not suffer from anxiety? Okay, if you're an anxiety sufferer, if you get anxious, how would your life be different? Okay, what would be different about it? How would you be? Would you be achieving more? Would you be happier? Would you do more? Would you try more? Or would you be exactly as you are right now? What would you do differently if you did not have anxiety? Glenn would be a go-go dancer. Glenn, you always make me smile. Would you guys like to chat to my wife?
No.
She's sat over there, and she's...
Hi everyone. Just finished the gym session, so not looking hot.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try and keep that one there. So Gina's, if I did not suffer, deal with anxiety, I feel I could be more fearless in general. I would not worry about what others thought, or if I was making the wrong decision. Nice one, Gina. I'm going to write down here, wouldn't worry about making wrong decision. Thinking you have a wife makes me anxious as hell. Jack, I was just winding you up. I don't have a wife. Anxious is natural. Without it, dead. Paul A. Hicks. Amen. I absolutely love that, because that's one of my points I'm going to come to. Make more friends. Okie doke, okie doke. Thanks, Stephen. Gerald Martell, you're never going to be lucky enough to meet the Kilted coaches. Well, if you come to Scotland, then we'd quite happily meet you. Oh, that's nice. My boss is a life coach, and as her assistant, I'd say so far your discussion is pretty insightful. Thanks, Kathy. I appreciate that. Do you know what? And this is the main point about this. I am not an expert on anxiety. Okay, I am an expert on um, human progression, if you like. Okay, or human development. personal development, and whatever the topic, often the best thing to do is talk about it. Because I'm coming from a position of, I have my own experience. What's your experience? Okay, I have some basic questions that I want to ask you guys and get your feedback on. So that's maybe a tip that you could take forward with you. If you are suffering from anxiety, talk to people. Okay, be open about it. And as soon as you shine a light on it, say, yeah, this is me. I suffer from anxiety from time to time. So what? Okay, let's talk about it. It's not a something to be ashamed of. It's just again natural. I can't remember who said that. What was your name? Um, yeah, I can't remember who said it. But yeah, anxiety is very, very natural. So that's my point I'm going to come to. I'm going to write just a few more notes, make more friends. Okay, so Frank, you're saying you'd probably drive. So obviously more anxious about learning. Never learned. I did that. Okay, so here's my here's my point for tonight. My main point. I understand that some people suffer more than I do, and some people suffer less than I do, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, everyone's got their own experience. But when I was doing a bit of research before I jumped on tonight, what I was looking for was what's the general census of anxiety, and I found a bunch of videos that were saying get rid of your anxiety, never suffer anxiety ever again by doing this, and this. Okay, and as much as that makes you want to watch the video because you're like, oh no, I don't want this anxiety. I say embrace it. Okay, now depending on how severe it is. Okay, now my anxiety is not that severe. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I get anxiety and I learn how to deal with it. I take action. I do a few certain tasks. Sometimes it bothers me. Sometimes I'll go quiet for a week or two, and not talk. But I have my own way of dealing with it. I exercise on a regular basis, as you know. Um, but anxiety to me is like hunger. Okay, and I mentioned that earlier on. It tells me that I want to do something. Okay, it tells me that I want something that I don't have yet. Okay, now for a while, because in my PT business, so not just the Kilted coaches, but I'm a personal trainer as well. I took on a new studio. I got a bunch of all the equipment and flooring and all sorts of different things for it, and I was in a lot of debt because of it. Now it was worthwhile debt, but then you get anxious around money. I have to make that money back. I have to pay all this stuff off. So you find yourself just digging deep and doing something. But to me, I kind of thrive on that anxiety. Now, it was a negative feeling, okay, and it is horrible to feel it at the time. But ultimately, because I was mindful of it, and I think that's probably the main point, if you're mindful of that anxiety, it's telling you that you don't want to be where you are. You don't want to be here, you want to be there. That's what you're anxious about. Okay, now everyone's got wherever you are here. Okay, you don't want to be there anymore. You want to be here. Okay, now everyone has these things in their life. Okay, now I did not want to be in debt, and I wanted to be debt free. Okay, that's what I was anxious about. I was anxious about making money and create, making sure that the business was doing well, making sure that Kilted Coaches was making these videos each week. Okay, I was anxious about all this work that I had to do, but ultimately it created this stress, this demand to take regular action. I had to go out. I had to get up in the morning. I had to go and see these clients. I had to develop the business. We had to go and Rab and I just make these videos. Okay, no matter what we've got on. Like Rab's just had a small person, which we'll get onto again in a second. Yet we met up this afternoon to go and film a video for you guys because we've committed to doing so. So we're both anxious about getting this video out for Monday. That we went out when he has got huge demands on his life, that we went out, we made this video, and we got it done. So anxiety to me is telling you that you don't want to be where you are, you want to be somewhere else. And that, if you're mindful of it, allows you to take action, gets you out of pain and into a point where you want to be. Unfortunately, when you get there, you then think, oh, I don't want to be here, I want to be there. And then the cycle continues. but it doesn't have to be horrible. It doesn't have to be something that you get rid of. It can be something that you manage. Like hunger. You get hungry, you eat. You get anxious, you take action. That's my tuppence. Right. Does anyone have anything else to add? Let me just have a quick look at my notes. Took some notes earlier. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to finish off this with, again, just a little point. A few people mentioned about the reasons that they get anxious. And often it was because they're worried about North Korea. They're worried about having Trump as a president. They're worried about something that not being in control. Okay, you're worried about these things. But there's something I love to always think about, and that is let it be. Who said that? Was it John Lennon? Was it John Lennon? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's John Lennon. Let it be. Just let it be. So, and again, another quote that I loved is, let life be what it is, rather than what you expect it to be. Okay, so North Korea, there's nothing you can do about that. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. So let it be. Just take action when you can. So, and I've said this to people before, and they said, no, but you have to care about current affairs. Like, do you not watch the news, and do you care about these current affairs? And my argument is no. I care about my current affairs. if the guy from North Korea, I can't remember his name. What's it? Kim Jong Il or whatever his name is. If he turned up in my living room and started giving me abuse, then I would deal with him. Okay? Until he turns up in my living room, he can do what he wants. Okay? It's not. I don't have any power over that, so me worrying about that is completely irrelevant. Okay? So let life be what it is rather than what you expect it to be. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was John Lennon. Paul McCartney wrote "Let It Be." Did he? Oh yeah, I think yeah, you might be right in that one actually. Paul McCartney, the Beatles. Yes. So let it be. So anyway, anxiety talk is over. We are going to play a game, and the prize is a Kilted Coach's beanie hat. And that game is called Rab's Small Person. And no rude jokes about that, because he does have a name for his other small thing.
I did not need to know that.
Okay, so yeah, Gina, you already have a hat, but you won two before, and you gave one away, so you could give this one away too if you win. So what we need first of all is do we do second? Do you know what? Yeah, let's go with sex of the baby first. Who thinks it's a boy? Who thinks it's a girl? Clarissa, it's a girl, girl, boy. Glenn Roebuck thinks it's a boy. Caroline, James, Gina, everyone thinks it's a girl. No, A. Borges. Girl, 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 boy, boy, it's a girl. I know it's a girl. Clarissa, how do you know it's a girl? Are you psychic? Or did somebody tell you? Nobody could have told you. a, a hairy little girl. Yeah, exactly. 50-50 chance. Ah, right, okay. She was wearing a pink thing in her head. Maybe, boys can wear pink too. Boys can wear pink too. Right, so let's skip the boy and the girl thing, okay? Because I actually have no idea how I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start scribbling your name and the weights that you write down. Okay, so please bear with me. I'm going to write. I'm going to say them out as I write them. So if I don't read out your one, I haven't written it down. So keep typing until I say it out loud. Okay. So the weight of the baby, and the sex. Go. James Key, 7.5. Andrew Horbury, £7.5. Bum, 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 bum. Nadine. Whoa, 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 you're going way too fast. It's a girl, £5.13. £7.8, William Miel. Clarissa, £8 girl. A Borges, 3.5 kilograms. That's Rab's baby, alright. Okay, Caroline, £6.4. CK2, now CK2D, I feel like I should know who that is. CQ, my memory's not the best. Okay, I've got you. Heather Girl, £7.5. Peter Kirk, £7.3. Scott Allen, £5 girl. Christ, there's a lot of people here. Right, so what I'm going to do, rather than read every single one out, I'm going to start going in between. So I'll give you and do what I'm actually just going to. I'm just going to scribble down like 10 more. And I'm going to go with the closest ones because I know roughly who it is. Right, Gina, £7, 7 ounces, 20 inches long. So you go with a boy then? £7. Elaine, Ernie, £7, 6 ounces. Kelly's making weird noises. Oh dear, 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 dear. Right, Paul Wilgus, £7, 4 ounces. Cool, right. We've got enough to go from there, right? So, if I didn't write you down, then you're too late. You're too late. We'll get a closest one, and we'll announce the winner next week when Rab decides to let you all know what they had. Had a little baby. Is the wifey coming over to say hi? No, she says no. Wifey says no. She doesn't want. She doesn't like you. She says.
Hi, guys.
Says no. Didn't like them. Gina's gonna miss next week. No. Nadine wants to see you. Nice plaid pants. They're pajamas. They're my pajamas. There's a bunch of fingers. You're just being rude. Tell us her name. Her name is Sarah. Or wifey. Hello, Mrs. Coach Stephen. It's time for more whiskey, I think. Right. I am going to shoot off soon. That's 11:05. When this whiskey is gone, I am gone. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. Hello, Mrs. Coach. Drink the whole thing. No. I'm taking Argyle, my son, to rugby tomorrow, and I need to be on top form because he's getting fast and he likes to rugby tackle me, so I can't be hungover. Clarissa says, "Hello, Sarah." Oh, sorry. The camera is focusing on my knee rather than my face. Oh, yes. Nadine, you should totally put Lane into rugby. What colour did Rab paint the baby room? The baby is actually in their bedroom right now. Give Argyle a brother sister. It's a nice knee. Should I put my knee back up again? Is it better looking than my face? Should I just do that? Ron Grant, thanks for being so compassionate with this discussion. You're welcome. I don't know if I was compassionate, but you know, I was open to the conversation. I'm actually really glad. I was expecting people getting a little bit more emotional about it, but this has been fantastic. So yeah, really good. Dan is saying Mrs. Clark is very good looking. Go put on a kilt, then sit like that. Dare you, Jack? This is why I'm wearing pajamas, so I can just completely chill out and relax, and I don't have to worry about flying bob eggs. Little boy blue, behave yourself. Are those official Kilted coaches' pajamas? No, but that's a really good idea, right? We're either in kilts or pajamas, and they're Kilted coaches' pajamas. No, these are, I don't actually can't remember them from Fat Face, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, fat. Do you guys have Fat Face in America? They're really good, very comfy clothes. They're kind of really sort of rustic sort of looking stuff. Nope, I think it's a great idea. Nope. Okay, so you don't have Fat Face in America. Can we get Kilted coaches underwear? Caroline, we don't wear underwear, so we can't really sell it. Nadine, Fat Face, yes. It is spelled the same way, right? It's just
Mhm.
Fat Face, yeah. Um, it's fine. No faggins, but you should add pajamas to the store. Do you know what? We should really try and do that, but we're kind of at the mercy of the company that we use, and I don't think they've got pajamas. But we will endeavour to get some of these things. We still obviously need to sell kilts. We need to sell now tartan pajamas, amongst a few other things. So Karen PH, hello Sarah. Stephen, have you ever been to Foyer Falls? Daniel Millard, I have no idea where that is. Where is Foyer Falls? Would you call that wall colour lemon or chiffon? What, the colour of this wall? I'd call it magnolia. Are you going on XX Tube afterwards? I'm going to assume that that is a porn site, so yes, 100%. I will be there and I'll see you there. Remember, live chat. Magnolia, yeah. There is a US site for fat face. Is there, Dan? Is there a US site for fat face? I don't know. Oh, cool. So yeah, Paul Wilkes. I live in Virginia. I have two pair of fat face sleep pants. Sleep pants. I'm sorry. I have to dwell on that one slightly. Sleep pants. Is that like pajamas? Is that like a fancy name for pajamas? So like in Scotland, we have a house coat as well. You don't have your house coat on.
Never met.
So Do you guys ever call it a house coat? So we've got like your dressing gown. So your dressing gown in Scotland we call it a house coat. So that's my equivalent of your sleeping pants as well. What's on XX Tube other than porn? Cassie, I have no idea actually what XX Tube is. I think it must, with a name like XX Tube, I think it must be porn. Um, oh really? Okay, Gina. So you grew up thinking it was a house coat. Dressing gown is a new one on me. Okay, so maybe it's not a Scottish thing then. That's fine. Have we ever been to the fairy pools of Great Britain? Um, Fairy pools are up in Skye, and although I've been to Skye, I actually haven't seen the fairy pools, but they're pretty spectacular. I've seen plenty of photos and whatnot.
Who is Glenn? I want to meet him.
Glenn's funny, isn't he? Cool, cool, cool. Fernando's on. Hello to Mrs. Clark. I want to meet Glenn too. Holly. So I think we should have like Glenn. Are you like you're in Scotland, aren't you? You're like West Coast. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I think we should have a meet up and we'll invite the bald guy too. Glenn's from Clydebank, so yeah, you could just jump in the car and come over and see us. There you go. Brian saying if Sarah isn't camera shy, we'd love to have her on the couch beside you. Well, I have invited her over. To be honest, we've had the channel for we'll be coming up for 2 years in May, and she hasn't been on the camera. Well, in fact, she's been on like very brief times, and people keep saying, why don't you have your family on? Because it's not our decision to make; it's their decision to make, and they will come on when they're good and ready to come on, even if they are just being a bunch of fannies. Who is the bald guy? If I had a hammer. The bald guy is my friend Mark, who was highly entertaining and deserves to be back on the channel. Um, Actually, sometimes watches his live feeds, but he doesn't often comment. Glenn, he is perfection. He's so dreamy. Yeah, Mark, he's a pretty cool guy. I really like him. Yeah, he's just fun. He was just fun. So we had a Christmas party. Mark was there, and he took the channel by storm. Nearly naked Nick, Stephen Ferry. Yeah, we can bring him back too. We're actually out to dinner, start of February, which is that a Saturday night we're out?
I think so.
I think it's a Saturday night we're out, but we might pop on for 5 minutes to say hi. PJs with cool or sleep pants. Yay, Nick and Mark. This will be a fun live stream or video. Right, we'll get them both on, I promise. Did we scare any of them? I think there was a couple of the girls who were kind of like, "What the hell is going on?" I think they were more entertained than scared. I think. Guys, the best. Thank you very much. Is it usually cold in Scotland year round? It depends what your class is cold. You kind of get used to it. You get acclimatized. So, winter time it's cold at the moment. Like there's snow on the ground. Summertime we can have highs of uh, maybe 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It gets bloody hot. That's near Iceland. Stephen, explain why you do not wear pants during the day. but you do at night. Um, I'm assuming when you say pants, you mean trousers. Pants to us is like underpants. Um, well, if I'm being completely honest, we run the kilted coaches, so we wear kilts all the time for that. But we do have our personal training businesses where we don't wear kilts. Shh. Um, yeah, we wear normal clothes for our day jobs, and then as soon as we're kilted coaches, it's back home. Let's get the kilts on, and let's go have some fun. But then nighttime, you kind of want to be cozy, so you kind of need something to keep your ankles cozy. And fat face pajamas are the way to go, especially when they get tartan ones like this. Kilted coaches invisible underwear, $50. Ron Grant, that's a genius idea. I think we should start selling invisible underwear. Oh dear Gerald. I want some Stephen Rabb sleep pants so I can brag that I have been in your pants.
Lol.
Yeah, the pants trousers difference is one I had to get used to. Yeah, so like if you say pants, like we don't even think boxer shorts. We think pants. Like we think like briefs. Would you call them briefs? Do you call them briefs?
Migrants.
Y fronts? Like if you say pants, we think like visit like pant like as in little Y front pants, like briefs, like budgie smugglers. That's what we think when you say pants. Um, so when you're saying like sleep pants, like I can't think of anything worse than wearing pants to bed. Wear pajamas, yes. Pants, no. I like things to be able to move, and I'm sure you really needed that hand gesture for the move. Tighty whities, exactly. We call pajamas chill pants. Pajamas is old fashioned. Pajamas is never old fashioned chill pants. Glenn wears a full ball gown to bed. Yeah, banana hammock as well. Pajamas are a top and bottom. Well, technically I've got a top on as well, right? Yeah. So Cassie's only heard them referred to as briefs or boxers and tighty whities, but never pants. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So in the US, pants are like full length trousers, what we call trousers. But yeah, not in the UK. Pants are pants. Pants are like yeah. Uh, so do you want to chat about anything else, or are we going to sign off? Your video is pixelated big time. Really, is it? Is my video am I pixelated?
Mhm.
Am I? Well, that's not so good. No, I've not finished my biscuit. I don't know if I. Should I bring you closer? No, I've got good Wi-Fi. Surprise guest bald guy. Should we get Mark on the case? I think he'd come round. He only lives around the corner. Should we get him round? You have been for a while. Oh, that's a shame. Someone is using your bandwidth downloading porn again. It's probably because I've got the phone that's doing the live stream. I've got my iPad trying to see your comments, and I've got the wifey over there who's watching and reading the comments on her own phone on the other sofa, but not interacting with her husband, who's right here on the sofa talking to you guys. She could literally be here right now, and she refuses not to. I think you should all get on her case and say, Sarah, stop being a fanny. And she just tried to throw a cushion at me and failed miserably. Stephen, you are still fuzzy. I can't really do anything about it. Sarah, get off the Wi-Fi.
It's fixed now. I'm still on the Wi-Fi.
Your wife is there? Yeah, she's like literally just there. Like, I'm going to show you.
Don't,
Look.
Stephen.
Yeah, she's camera shy. Yeah, suddenly it's better because the wifey got off her Wi-Fi. There's too many people using it. Yeah, I'm in the bad books now for making her go on YouTube without her permission. Look at Tilly Pups. She's having a good old stretch. Tilly Pups, where is it? Come for a cuddle. Come on. Go on in. Come for a cuddle. Go on. Go on in. Look, this is YouTube. Go on in. Right, I'll put the comments down, okay? So you don't have to comment if you don't want to. Go on in. Okay. She's not coming over. Time for bed. Right. I am. Yeah, the dogs. I think it's us, all the girls, eh? All the girls in the house. I'm going to go. Yeah, I know she's huge now, right? She's so good though. Glenn, good night to you and the ball guy. Beautiful dog. She's coming. Yeah, I know. She doesn't want. She normally comes straight over for a cuddle, but she doesn't want to come. Right. I'm going to go. I will see you all later. Thank you for tuning in to the anxiety feed. Bye bye from me and bye bye from Tilly. Tilly, bye bye. Tilly, bye bye. Who's this Tilly Pups? Look, who's that? Yeah, she doesn't want to say goodbye. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this slightly off topic for the Kilted Coaches live feed, but I think it's been good. And if you have any feedback, then please leave more comments after we finish the live feed, and we can reply to them as and when. Okay, love you all and good night.